Hello students and welcome to the e-learning program initiated by Shri Gyan Manjari Vidyapeeth for the students of Standard 10. Students, this is a quick revision for the board exams. We have already seen the breakup of the model question paper given by the board, in which bifurcation according to the weightage of the chapters is given to you. Yes, which we have already discussed. Yes, and section wise the board paper of social sciences divided into four sections: section A, B, C, D, where section A is objective, section B is 2-mark question, section C is 3-mark question, and section D is 4-mark question. Now, in according to the model paper given by the Gujarat board, 30% of the syllabus is deducted because of the pandemic, as schools were not running and students have not attended the classes. So, considering the loss of the education that the students missed during the actual class, so 30% reduction has been done, and we have seen the breakup of the complete model question paper right before. So accordingly, each and every chapter has been allotted with renewed division of marks. Earlier, whole of the book was in the syllabus, 21 chapters, that got reduced to 14 chapters. That means 7 chapters have been cut. But each of those 7 chapters had lots of weightage of marks that has been inducted in the remaining part of the syllabus. That is, that 66%, which has 14 chapters. So somewhere there will be a shift in the weightage of the marks. The board has been very good at clearing all the doubts, but still many doubts arise. Yes, and that is where actually we need to concentrate on how to prepare which chapter in which way. That is our main point, but that is the main focus that we are going to have, right? Because 14 chapters are there, and from those 14 chapters, 80 marks is going to be asked, right? 80 marks question paper is going to be made from that 14 chapters, not 21 chapters. So the division of mark that has been allotted for say chapter number 17, right? And because this is a quick revision, we need to know in the rest of the chapters also the same thing applies, that you have noted down the breakup of marks, that is marks weightage. We have already discussed at length quite a lot, and we know which chapter has what type of weightage, how many total marks have been allotted for it, and what are the different types of questions that can be asked. So we are coming to that. We'll just take an example for chapter number 17. Yes, chapter number 17 is part of the economics, the third chapter in economics, that is economic problems and challenges. Out of that, poverty and unemployment are going to be discussed over here in the The main thing to see is that marks weightage for this particular chapter is 6. That means उसके नीचे नहीं पूछा जाएगा, 6 marks पक्का है. That is the meaning, right? So we have to understand these for all the chapters. Yes, marks weightage is given with option and without option. So without option, that means 6 marks compulsorily will be asked from this chapter. In any form, it can be 4 marks, 3 marks, 2 marks, 1 mark, and that is what we are going to concentrate on that. In the previous year board paper, this chapter had a weightage of 4 marks question, right? Compulsory 4 mark question. That means all the 2 marks, 3 marks questions we did not have to prepare. We had to prepare only the long essay type questions from this particular chapter. Now, because of the shift in weightage of the marks, now the new marks allotted for this chapter is 6. That means without option. Without option means 6 marks compulsorily. Instead of 4, now 2 marks got increased because of those chapters which got reduced. The marks got shifted downwards to the remaining part of the syllabus. So marks weightage, this is how we have to see it. 6 marks compulsory will be asked. Now without option. Now with option. Without option 6 marks. Now without option, that is 6 marks. Now with option. Now with option means in the same section or in different sections you will get some more one question from the same chapter. That means if we consider 4 mark question from this chapter, right, then another question of 4 mark cannot be asked because without option, that means 4 mark one, then it has to be another 2 marks in the 2 mark question, then 4 plus 2 6, right, without option. Now what happens when it becomes 9? That means you are getting one more option from this chapter. That means there are 2 questions somewhere that gives you more than 6 marks, right? So we have to focus on this, without option and with option. Now what does that mean? Without option and with option. Now marks weightage 6 without option. Now to give you 6 marks from this particular chapter, as this chapter contains lots and lots of quite long essay type answers, quite descriptive, and you have to memorize quite a lot, right? So 4 mark long answer was there earlier in the previous year. Now here marks have shifted from 4 to 6 without option. That means if we have without, in the board A paper, if we have without option and 6 marks, that means there will be 2 questions of 3 marks. That means in section C there will be 2 questions from chapter number 17 which will have 6 marks total. That is a straightaway deduction, right? Now if we go for without with option, now with option means 2 into 3 marks question, that is 6 marks. Then remaining 3 marks, where will they go? Because from the same chapter 3 questions of 3 marks cannot be asked, because there are other chapters also from where 3 marks weightage is given for section C. So we can have maximum of 2 questions having 3 marks, and then there can be 1 question of 2 mark, then also 1 mark remains, then that one will go to objective. So we have to prepare this chapter according to 3, 2 and 1. I think students, I am very clear with what I am saying, and I hope you understand properly what is being said. You have to, so in short, whether you go for without option or you go with option, 3 mark question is compulsorily coming from this chapter, right? So 3 mark, all the 3 mark questions that are in poverty and unemployment, that is chapter number 7, they have to be prepared. Now our burden increases, because if we also want this chapter to be thoroughly prepared, so that we get an additional 2 marks plus an objective 1 mark, then we have to prepare it in another way, where we have to also include small topics which will cover 2 mark question. So it is up to you how to prepare this particular chapter, right? Because of shift in weightage, now we have a little bit confusion over here, that whether I should go for without option or with option. Now what happens in the paper, if 1 mark objective is asked from chapter number 17, there is a 2 mark question also, and there are 2 mark 3 mark 2 questions, then we get stuck, because we didn't prepare for objectives, we didn't prepare for 2 marks, we prepared just long answers keeping in view without option. That means 6 marks are there, minimum 6 marks will be asked from chapter number 17, that is fixed. Now what remains is the problem of 3 marks, right? So we are going to prepare ourselves in such a way that we not only prepare for 3 marks, but we also together, when you are preparing for 3 marks, look, when we prepare for 3 marks, then that can be shortened and asked for 2 marks. We are reading the complete chapter. Because 2 marks, we cannot omit. What happens if we have with option, right? One question, if we have of chapter number 17, which we have prepared thoroughly, if that is asked in section B, then we are well prepared with. And if we are prepared with 2 and 3 marks question, then automatically objective can very easily be answered, right? Now, what type of objectives can be asked, right? Because we have to do thorough study. Because if we have taken that without option, then 1 mark objective, because in 24 marks objective, all the 24 are compulsory. You got to give the answer, right? There is no exception over there. So, tad bit little complicated, but the way we prepare for our WRT, the way we will be preparing for our PSTs and WSTs, I think the board paper will be quite easy for you, because in short, we have to learn the complete chapter number 17. Only thing is very long answers we do not have to memorize. Now understand the positive point. The positive side of this is all the long answers which are 4 and 5 marks. 5 marks is not there in the board, but then there are many answers that are quite long and you have to memorize a lot, and that's quite confusing. So 4 marks, 2 lengthy answers, you simply don't touch them. Touch them in the meaning that you got to read them perhaps on objective, but you do not have to memorize the way you memorize the 3 mark question, right? Poor and poverty definitions, right? Definitions is there, somewhat understanding is there, so this is a 2 mark question. So when you look at the question, you should consider it yourself whether this is 2 mark. Okay, this, how many points are there? 4 points, 3 points, but quite thick points, right? Then that is a 2 mark answer, right? 2 points, but different definitions are there, right? 2 marks, 2 definitions are there. For example, poor and poverty, you have to describe poor also, you have to describe poverty also, so that is 2 marks. So we should not consider it in that way that for 2 marks at least 4 points should be there. No, it can be definition. 2 definitions are asked for 1 mark each, that is 2 mark, right? So this is a question for 2 marks. Poverty line and how it is determined. Now this is quite a lengthy answer, right? What is poverty? That is understood. What is poor? That is understood. Poverty and how it is determined. Now concept of all that, and calories, clothing, containing proper amount of required expenditure and all. So lots of things are there. So it will be a 3 mark question, poverty line and all that, because it is still continuous. So you look at the question and you decide yourself whether this is a 2 mark question, 3 mark question. If it looks like a 4 mark question, then remove unnecessary points by striking the line, yes, so that when you are doing a revision, you don't look at those lines which are totally unnecessary, because it's a 4 mark question and you got to reduce it to 3 marks. So common features of poverty line, right? Now what are the common features of people living below poverty line? So you have to list all of them. Now how many are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 points are there. So this is a 3 mark question, right? And all of them, most of them, they are one line answers, right? But they make up 9 points, which clearly tells us all the features. We look at a person, yes, we look at the person's background, we look at how he lives, how he wear clothes, how much expenditure he can do. We look at all those things, we come to know he is poorest of the poor, whether he is poor, he is below poverty line, or just above poverty line, low middle class family, right? So this is how we, so this is a 3 mark. Then Antyodaya Yojana and how it has benefited people. Antyodaya Yojana, that means you got to completely answer what is Antyodaya Yojana. Yes, income of below poverty line is very less. Such families are called living below poverty line. Government has identified such families that put them in the category of Antyodaya family or BPL family. This is one point, but having at least 5 lines. Next point, quite big. Next point, quite big. Fair price shop and all that. And this is the last point. Yes, so this can be a 3-mark question, but this is basically a 2-mark question, right? Methods to measure poverty. There are 2 methods, right? Expenditure and now both of them, expenditure and this is income method, both of them contain together. This is a 3-mark question because you have to write few things over here. Yes, what is it? 2 ways of knowing whether a number of people living below poverty and what are the methods and poverty of these people, right? Measures, how to do it, expenditure, you name them, and then you explain them in quite few words. All right, so this is a 3-mark question. The concept of absolute and relative poverty that we know, right? A person who is unable to purchase basic necessities like food, pulses, vegetables and all that, even at the lowest market rate, is absolute poor. So this is the definition of absolute poor, right? And poverty, such type of poverty is called absolute poverty. Now relative, this is a 2-mark question, right? Because we are defining 2 things. First is absolute poverty, second thing is relative poverty. Now if you give an example of that, if it is asked in 3 marks, then by giving an example, you are proving your point. Then it becomes a 3-mark question. Yes, it has just 3 points, but then you have defined 2 things. That is 2 mark plus 1 mark for giving an example. So the way we look at the questions and the answers now is going to change. It is not fixed now that this is 2 mark, this is 3 mark or this is 4 mark. We look at the questions because of the change and shift in the marks weightage of the chapter. Poverty statistics in India of calculating poverty, usually such type of questions are not asked because it contains lots of statistics. Many students, they might find difficulty in enumerating or in laying out the complete answer, alright, because it involves years and precise numbers are given, so 816 and all that, right? So you just go through it, you write, just remember the numbers. Maybe they can be asked in the objectives. Urban area per thousand, 1000 per person, 1000 per family member, all that. Now as per planning condition, and this is quite a lengthy answer, right? But usually statistics are not asked, so you can avoid this question, but at the same time you go through it for the purpose of preparing for the objectives. Now as far as objectives are concerned, the new method of calculating, now this you will have to include in the 3-mark answer, right? Because this is a new method that has been incorporated for calculating poverty, that is in numbers, right? Because just by changing the way that we calculate, we bring down the total number of poor. We did not decrease the number of poor, we just decrease the number that we have with us. So this is an important point, but because it's new and late, we got to include it in the preparation for our exam. International poverty line and how it is decided, that also you should be knowing as a 10th standard student. So this question is also very important. It has quite big points, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 points are there and they are quite big, so they can be a 3-mark question. Plus lots of statistics are there, lots of objectives are there in this. For example, income as lower than decided, per capita income as 1.90 per day as per the prices of 2001. This means if a person is expenditure less than US 1 point, then he is to be considered as person living below international poverty line. So we can have an objective over here that person living below dash dollars dash is considered to be living below international poverty line, right? So it can be a fill in the blank, it can be a match the following, it can be a 1-line answer. MCQ, yes, whole of this will be given, and below you will be given four options: $1, 1.70, 1.80, 1.90, and $2. Right. So MCQs can be generated, fill in the blanks can be generated from small value points like this. Poverty figures as per India. Right now, these are again statistics. You got to remember this for objective also, because 2011-12 21 point now, that means 27 crore Indian population was poor. Above we have 29.8, that means almost 30%. We had population, out of the total population we had 30% which were poor. So 35.47 crore people living below the statistic. You didn't need to know it. This is very important. This particular point you can star mark in your material. This is very important because it tells us which state is the poorest state as per the number of population it has, and out of that what is the percentage of the poor living in that state. So Chhattisgarh, for example, poorest state of India because 36.93% of its population is in the category of poor people, where has 5.09% only poor, whereas you can say 95% are above poverty line. Right? So it is the lowest in, right? Same way, Gujarat, you should remember because it is our state, we should remember. Now, all these states make up 30%. Poverty figures as per the World Bank. Now, as per World Bank, we have to remember 32.7%. Again, this is nothing but statistics, but we got to remember these percentage, we got to remember the numbers. For example, this is percent, but this is number. 5.6 crore people lived below poverty line when 2010, right? Poverty figures as per UN Development Program. UNDP stands for UN Development Program, United Nations Development Program. 20, here there is a difference, it says this, but it one says 21.92 total population in India was poor. 2014-15 must be 11-12. No, it is 15. Report was 15-12, but it was considered for the year of 11-12. Poor live in rich India. This is what we can say give reason, right? If it is give reason, then it is 2-mark question, right? So we should know the content, that why poor, why it is said that poor live in India. We are quite a huge country, we are quite a vast country, we are having the wealth of minerals and long coastline and all that, but still we are not able to use them to the best. And that is why, because of illiteracy, large workforce, right? Most of that is quite illiterate and that. So all that. So this is a 2-mark question. Moreover, defective planning, sincere, people lack education, capitalize resources, people do not have proper training, skills to utilize, so the resources are wasted, or resources are lying, but we are not able to use. As these factors are poor, so we can say that this is a give reason, and this has to be in 2 marks. Now, this is again, right, people that constitute rural poor, urban poor. Who are the people that are in rural India, rural poverty, and which are the people considered in the urban poverty? So rural poor, all these people you have enumerated these people, right? You have given the type of people that do some type of work and are considered in rural poor. So this is 1 mark, urban poor is 1 mark. So this is a 2-mark question, where we can see the size of the point is quite big. Yes, it's quite thick. So what happens is, even though 2 points are there, but there are lots of things that are included, the content is quite sizable, right? So this is a 2-mark question. The reasons for rural poverty in India, these are the reasons. If there are reasons, it is a 2-mark, then it can be a 3-mark also, depending upon the length of the line. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and quite thick points. 5 are there, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 points are there. 12 points can be reduced to 2 mark, can be reduced to 9 points. Yes, we write something from all the points, then this is a 3-mark question, although this is a complete 4-mark question, right? Because the size of each and every point is quite thick. This is a complete 4-mark question, but then from this chapter we are not going to be asked a 4-mark question, we are going to be asked 3-mark question, right? So we shall focus on this. Literacy is one of the born causes of rural poverty. This is a 2-mark question because it asks us to give reason or to explain the statement, right? Both of them are true. You can add give reason at the end, or you can say explain the statement. Literacy is one of the main causes. Now small points are there, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yes, the last point you don't consider, hence literally you are writing the same statement, so it is basically 5 points. 5 points, that means 2 marks. Large gap between population growth and death rate has made India poor, right? This is again give reason or explain the statement. Rather than give reason, it is more like explain the statement why large gap between the population growth and death has made India. So small points are there, 1 2 3 4 5 6 points are there. So 2-mark question. You can reduce 1 or 2 lines from the lengthy points, and you memorize in that way the points, the lines that you don't want, you think it's too difficult to remember, or if you think that by decreasing these few lines I can adjust this answer in 2 marks, or I can adjust these answers in 3 marks. Strategy poverty eradication, yes, we have yearly plans and all that. Strategies adopted by government for poverty alleviation program. Now this is quite important. We know this is quite a lengthy answer, and it is a complete 4-mark answer, and even in 4-mark we do not have to write all the points, because then it's this particular answer is quite lengthy, because it starts with 1 may be points hai, right? 3 points to 1 mein hai, then it keeps on going, now it comes 2 may be, so we should be aware of the answers of this particular one. Now suppose the question is, write the strategy by write any two poverty alleviation after independence. 3-mark question. Then 1 is to be given because 1 has an introduction, then point number 1 2 3 4 5. Yes, you have the material in front of you, so you can easily see what we are doing, right? I do not have that much space where I can explain all the things, but then we have to be faster. Yes, even if you over here, then already here also 1 2 3 4 quite big points are there. Now we come, so you can take point number 1, point number 2, and all the points below point number 1 and point number 2 sub points, or you can start with the third one. Government implemented several programs, 3 hai, 4 hai, 4 mein ka 5 3 4 hai, right? So now comes 5. So select any 2 and thoroughly memorize them, because we have come to 5 में भी इतने सारे हैं, right? बहुत सारे points हैं. So see which one you can memorize, because the conclusion also, as we discussed earlier, that this is a complete 4-mark question. Yes, and in 4-mark also we don't have to write that much big answer. Yes, so we minimize it. How do we minimize? Yes, we do not miss any of the points, but then we exclude the unnecessary things from it, cut the out, and just give point to point answers, so that we have topic, we have subtopic, and point wise we have given, right? So in this way there are 5 quite large points having subtopics or having some explanation below that of 2 or 3 lines. So that much we do not have to write for 3-mark question. So this is a complete 4-mark question. If you want, you can avoid it, but then we should not completely not look at it, because if that question comes in 3-mark, then any 2, right? Because this is quite a lengthy question and 2 marks, 3 marks. So we have to write just 2 points, 2 main points. Main point can have sub points in them, right? We have seen each and every main point has 3 or 4 or 5 sub points below it. So you write any 2 of them, that will come to 10 lines, 10 points. So that is a 3 mark answer. So we should not completely avoid it. See that we do it thoroughly, but in such a way that it can be kept as an option. Now, public distribution system and fair price, this is 2 mark, 3 mark as per requirement. Is to see that the poor 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 points are there, right? 4 points are there and quite thick, so it can be a 3 mark, but then it is normally a 2 mark question. Now, poverty alleviation program, PAP, we have to discuss a lot. We know what are all. We can classify poverty alleviation programs or schemes in 5 sections: wage-based self-employment, programs related to food security, programs related to social safety, programs for elimination of poverty in urban areas. But we know all these different schemes are there, right? So if there are different schemes, the schemes can be asked separately. If it is having 4 marks, 4 points, then it will be automatically asked in 2 marks. If that scheme is quite lengthy to explain and lots of material and content is there, then what happens? It gets converted into 3 marks. Now, one by one. Now, we start from here. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, PMKSY. Only one. Then the government has included, this is the explanation. So it starts from here. First one is Pradhan Mantri Krishi. You give an introduction to it, then you explain what it is. It's quite lengthy, and so 3 big points are there. So it will be 2 mark question. Yes. Then Prime Minister Insurance Scheme or Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, it is known as PMFBY, right? Point number 1, point number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 points. So you can star mark PMFBY, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Pradhan Mantri Crop Scheme or Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is a complete 3 mark question which you have to prepare independently. So in this way, look at the question and ENAM. ENAM is quite lengthy, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points are there. So below 9 points, but it cannot be included in 2 marks, but it can be included in 3 marks. So ENAM can be considered as a separate 3 mark question. Next comes from Gramoday to Bharatuday. That's quite a lengthy answer and it will be included in 3 marks compulsorily. So these are very important schemes, because if one question asks for describing the schemes, the different schemes for alleviating poverty, then these are few of them which can be asked from time to time. This is quite a big answer, and so this is a 3 mark answer. It starts from over here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Small and big points all are there: 9, 10, 11, 12. So see which one you want to be included in the 3 mark answer. Next, Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. It's not that big, but then it is having 2 big points. So 3 big points, right? So this can be included in 2 marks question. Then Van Bandhu Kalyan Yojana. Again, this one is 2 marks also, because much is given. Only this much is there. It encourages organic farming, right? This is it. 1, 2, 3 points. 5, 6. Mukhyamantri Gram Sadak Yojana, Chief Minister Village Road Scheme. Yes, this is quite a good one and goes for 3 marks. So when we are basically talking, no, this is 2 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4 only, right? Small schemes are there, but the explanation of that, if it is 4 5 points, then you automatically score it for 2 marks. Ma Annapurna Yojana, yes, this is quite a good question, and explanation 1 2 3 4, some numbers are also there, so that can give you points. 4 points are there, so this is a 2 mark. Members of parliament included, this is a 2 mark question. This is a big question and it carries 3 marks. Manrega program, yes, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which is known as Manrega. 1, quite a big point. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, quite a big point. So 6 points are there, but quite lengthy ones, so it is a 3 mark. Same way, Mission Mangal Women, this is quite a big one, and 2 marks because the length of the answers are quite big. Dattotpan Tegri Karigar Vyaj Sahai, it is a 2 mark question. Jyoti Gramoday Vikas Yojana, again 2 mark question. Bajpai Bank Yojana, it is quite small, it doesn't have that much, but it can be clubbed with some other scheme to give, right? Because it has just 1 and 2 3 marks, so it can be asked as independent 2 mark question, or it can be clubbed with something else, some other scheme. So with this we complete our today's lecture, and this was the understanding of the first part of the chapter number 17, that is we were dealing with one of the challenges, economic challenges faced by India, that is poverty. In the next lecture we will be taking the same chapter for the remaining part of the. Now, one of the most important topics in poverty is Poverty Alleviation Program, which is PAP. Now, first of all, we should understand the subtopics that are given over there. Now, what are these subtopics? Because a question can come that write in detail about the self-employment program by the government, right? So if you do not know what comes in self-employment programs that are generated by the government so that it can reduce poverty amongst the most poorest of the poor, so if you are not aware of that, even when you know, then also you will not be able to score, because you know the topic but you do not know the way it is asked, because it is asked in a twisted way. Same way, wage-based employment program, same way self-employment program, programs related to food security, programs related to social safety, programs for elimination of poverty in urban areas. So we have to know first of all which program does it mean to say, right? Right, in short, about the programs for alleviation of poverty in urban areas. So which program are you going to write, which scheme are you going to write? Yes, you should know that first, because it can be asked in a twisted way, right? So let us see that one by one, that motto behind these schemes. Though these schemes, it aims to provide employment in the field of agriculture, irrigation, road, food security, organic farming, selling agricultural products, etc. It helps the poor person to earn income directly and hence improve their financial conditions. It is that. This is the motive, right? Now, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, that means it is for the farmers, right? This program was formed with a vision to extend the coverage of irrigation and to improve efficiency of water used for agriculture. Now, which sort of, under PAP, agriculture, under agriculture sector, so here where does it fall? There are 5 sectors over here. Wage based employment, this is not a wage based, you work and you get salary, it is not that. Self employment program, yes. Programs related to food security? No. Program related to social safety? No. Programs for elimination of poverty in urban area? No. So it falls in self-employment program, because self-employment, you have your farm, you can do agriculture over there. Only thing is the government supports you for if your crops fails, then you have taken insurance from the government pays you so that you do not have a loss, right? But it is your farm, you grow anything in it or you just play football, it all depends on you. You get the idea? So we should also look at these schemes in such a way so that we do not miss, even though we are well prepared. Yes, you are well prepared with this one. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, you know it very well. First point, yes, then this is second point, quite a big one. Third point, yes, these are quite good points and you know about them. This is a 2-mark. This is a 2-mark question, but only thing is you did not know in which section it falls. So you end up by not answering, or you end up by answering some other question, some other scheme, because you did not know where it falls, right? So these schemes, they are very important and you should be able to. Now, Prime Minister Crop Insurance Scheme, again, that is the same thing, Fasal Bima Yojana. It's quite a big one and it again comes under food security also. Yes, because whether the agriculture, in the agriculture sector, the farmer is able to earn something or not. He worked hard. He invested a lot of money, but then because of excessive rain or because of less rain or no rain, his crop failed. So he got an insurance. So at least he has food security. That is another way of it. Plus, okay, national e-market. This is for people who have the products ready, agriculture products ready, and they want to sell it in the market. So again, this is self-employment. This is Gramoday thi Bharatoday, right? This is not only social security. Yes, it is a self-employment also. Yes, because people voluntarily go to work over there, right? And they get the produce grass for the time of crisis or that, right? So this is a two-way program which works in lots of other schemes. Mind you, this is quite an important topic. Yes, both central and state government, they help the farmer to prevent loss faced by the farmers due to wild animals damaging the crop. The government provides economic help to build fences so that the wild animals do not destroy the crop. Yes, then in that he can produce good fodder for the cattle also. Then they are also helped if they keep cattle, then the government provides them money or helps them out with making a shelter for the cattle. Yes, and provide them with information when the rain is going to come. Yes, whether the rain will be sufficient or not. So it provides information, extra information. Discover mineral rich areas with the help of satellites and drones. Provide finance to low range for mechanization of agriculture. Somebody wants to buy a tractor or some accessories over there, he can buy it with the help of this. Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. This program makes an effort to supply uninterrupted electricity to the rural areas. So this covers social, right? Under this substation, this is all set up by the government, but it ensures social safety, right? And if social safety is there, automatically people can work because electricity is there. They can give water to their crop, yes, and they can get a good harvest. One Bandhu Kalyan Yojana, this is self-employment, right? Because Adivasis they have little resources, so you got to go out and help. But then who is going to work? Adivasis are going to help. They just get the help, but then they have to work out themselves, right? So this is self-employment. Government encourages organic farming, again self-employment. Mukhyamantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Yes, this is for the development of the area, making an asset, plus it is for wage based. That means you work over there, you'll get money. Yes, money stays in the village, right? Government helps the village panchayats by connecting the villages with one another. Moreover, programs like construction or toilets and all of their villages are used for doing this work. So this is a wage based. Yes, you do the work, you get the wages. Ma Annapurna Yojana. This is for food safety, right? This is for food safety. That Antyodaya families, who are Antyodaya families, Ma Annapurna Yojana, that is for giving 35 kg food grain per family per month free of cost. That means food security is looked after over here. Yes, so that nobody remains hungry even when they cannot afford to buy food at the market rate or below that also, right? So rupees 2 per kg wheat and rupees 3 per kg rice, etc. are given to the Antyodaya families who are poorest of the poor and identified by the government. And all the village panchayats, taluka panchayat, district panchayat, they have the complete list of Antyodaya families so that they can focus over there, that have they got what they need, so that nobody remains hungry in the country. Now, members of parliament involved in upliftment, this is for social safety, right? Because member of parliament, he comes from a constitution and he constituency sorry, and he is responsible for his constituency to look after the welfare of the people. So this is for social safety and security. Manrega program. Now, Manrega program, that means this is wage based. You do the work, you get the wages. Yes, because of the act, even if you don't work, because government is not able to provide you work, then it will give you wages, but wages are given. That means this is a wage based program. Mission Mangalam, yes, empowers women. It is giving power in the hands of the women. So this is social security. Dattopant Thegri Karigar Vyaj Sahay Yojana. This is again self-employment. The Karigar, the artisan, he works, right? If he works, he wants some to do some investment. Yes, carpenter, suppose he wants to buy some wood, but then he doesn't have money. So this is where it comes from. This, yes, at a very negligible interest rates, he has to pay back over a long period of time, which he happily pays, right? So this is a help to the poor people, but then artisans only, but then it is self-employment. Jyoti Gramodaya Vikas Yojana, objective of the Yojana is to provide, again see over here, self-employment opportunity. That means this program is for self-employment. Bajpai Bankable Yojana, you want some loan? Yes, then that means it is self-employment. For self-employment, you want a loan, you're given over there. So this is self-employment.